Hello and welcome to this episode of TC Weekly's System Override. I'm Austin.
And I'm Jack. We have a fun show planned for you guys today. Now, let's jump right into Planet Progress.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Planet Progress. Today we'll learn about the evolution of one of the most important things to sustain human life, and that is farming. Let's take a look at how this very important process came to be. Hunting and gathering has been in the human ideology since 20,000 BC, but the very first domestication of plants wasn't until 7,000 BC. It consisted of sugarcane and root vegetables in New Guinea and rice in China. Then around the year 1000, agriculture really started to expand, and the diffusion of different crops such as rice, sugar, cotton, oranges, and even some crops from the Americas from Christopher Columbus's explorations like maize, potatoes, and sweet potatoes. Another factor that drove the agricultural industry was the manorial system, that basically gave a crop a money value that could be exchanged for goods and services. Then fast forward to the 1930s Industrial Revolution, where the introduction of the combine harvester increases production and improves efficiency for harvesting grain. Then in the mid-20th century came the Green Revolution. This was a major increase in food grain, such as wheat and rice, by using a combination of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and plant breeding. This significantly increased the earnings of farmers and pushed the industry farther than expected. Now let's take a look at where farming is today. Agriculture today really boils down to a lot of science. Farmers now stray away from pouring on pesticides and fertilizers and have found the exact conditions crops grow best at with the correct amount of water and minimal amounts of pesticides and fertilizers. The harvesting equipment has improved and evolved immensely in the past 100 years, with the potato harvester, in-row weeder, robotic lettuce harvester, and carrot harvester and separator. With the introduction of science and a lot of machines, it's interesting to see where farming will be in the coming years. With the rapidly expanding world population rate, farmers will have to feed over 1 billion additional mouths in just a decade. This is where robots will be needed. With the increased demand, there will be a high increase for labor. Drones will also come into play to spread fertilizer, plant new crops, and even transport equipment. Farms will be equipped with an array of monitors to collect data and allow the farmer to improve or make changes to their setup. New gene editing in crops will also be available to selectively change DNA with the goal to achieve greater crop variety. With all these advancements, it'll really be quite the sight to see what the future really holds. I'm your host, Drew Greaves, and this has been the Planet Progress of Farming. I'll see you next time.
Wow, I feel like I learned so much today. There was so much information packed into one episode.
Dude, don't ruin the show with those lame jokes.
I'm sorry.
This week, Thursday, we'll be hosting the Digital Arts Student Showcase right here in this very building. It starts at 4:30 and goes to 7:30 p.m. We hope to see you there while students show off their hard work.
I know I'll be there. All right, next up is Music for the Souls, where she discusses jazz in the 1980s.
In the 1980s, the jazz community shrank and dramatically split. A mainly older audience retained interest in the traditional and straight-ahead jazz styles. In the early 1980s, a commercial form of jazz fusion called pop fusion or smooth jazz became successful and garnered significant radio airplay. He was an American jazz, funk, soul jazz saxophonist. He is considered by many to be one of the founders of the smooth jazz genre. Patrick. He wrote some material and later became an arranger and producer. On December 17, 1999, 5 days after his 56th birthday, he collapsed while waiting in the green room at the Saturday Early Show after performing 4 songs at CBS Studios in New York City. Doctors determined that the cause of his death was a massive heart attack. An American saxophonist, songwriter, and record producer, he's a 4-time Grammy Award nominee. On May 15, 2010, James was involved in a car accident coming home from a performance. He was rear-ended by a drunk driver. He suffered a fractured jaw, 2 shattered teeth, and facial lacerations. He was sidelined for 2 months. In 2017, he released Honestly, his 16th album. The record became his 11th number 1 on the Billboard Jazz Albums chart. An American singer-songwriter, she started her career in the late 1970s with the funk band Chapter 8. Baker released her first album, The Songstress. In 1986, she rose to stardom following the release of her platinum-selling second album, Rapture, which included the Grammy-winning single Sweet Love. She is regarded as one of the most popular singers of soulful romantic ballads during the heights of the Quiet Storm period of contemporary R&B. In 2017, Baker has won 8 Grammy Awards and 5 platinum albums and 1 gold album. Her range is contralto. Tune in next week where we go over blues in the 1980s.
That was very informational. I think I learned a lot about some new places, or new people that made jazz what it was in the 1980s, and some that are still around to this day.
This weekend starts off a very first Garden of Lights for this season. It starts November 30th and goes until December 30th. Students can get discount tickets in the Student Involvement Office. The lights will be so bright, they'll brighten your day.
You know what sounds good right now?
What?
The Pancake Place. Coincidentally, that's where the 4 food guys went.
No crap.
What up? We're the 4 food guys.
And we review the best foods that restaurants have to offer.
So you don't have to.
And this week we're going to the Pancake Place.
We're on our way to the Pancake Place. Of course, they're known for their pancakes and good prices. I guess it's like a souped up version of Perkins. They have a little bit of everything, but better. So, and we never tried a breakfast place, so it'll be something different. Alright, we just finished eating at the Pancake Place. Had an absolute feast. I think we're all stuffed, and we're gonna see you in the review.
Alright guys, we're back from the Pancake Place. All around, it was a pretty good restaurant. I would think we all pretty much liked it. We all got some breakfast. Let's see what everybody thought. So Joe, what did you think of it?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, this is the second time I've been to the Pancake Place, and all the time, well, the first time I went there, I got pancakes, but this time I got a breakfast sandwich. It's really good. Every time when I go to a place that has breakfast, I make sure that they have that specific sandwich, and I always get it, and it's always good.
Alright then, and you Nick?
Yeah, you guys were not lying. The pancakes are huge.
Massive.
Massive pancakes. I had a chocolate chip pancake, just one of them, and that was enough to fill me up. I don't even think I finished it. I had a ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. That was delicious. I think overall for the price, you do get a lot, so I thought it was worth it with that aspect. Yeah, I'd go there again, honestly.
Alright man, what did you think?
So the Pancake Place, I mean, I love breakfast joints. I mean, breakfast joints, like, it's always popping. You see all those people in there.
Oh, yeah.
You got old people, you got young people, you got everyone. I mean, like you said, I paid $7 for like a biscuit and gravy, because biscuit and gravy is bomb. But got hash browns on the side. It was like $10 for the whole thing. I had a whole bunch of coffee. It was, I mean, like you guys said, I agree. It's awesome. I'd go there definitely again.
Okay. And for me, I've been going to the pancake place since I was little, so it's just like a staple in my life. So, and I always got to go with the big chocolate chip pancakes. Didn't get 2 this time, which I normally do, but you know, 1 was enough this time, and everything just fills you up, and the atmosphere is great, like Matt said, and you know, got a nice cup of coffee. And for me, I just have to give it a 3.5 out of 4.
3.5 out of 4. I would give it a 3.8 because I just think it was such a nice little homey breakfast place. I mean, it's just, like
you feel the warmth.
I felt the warmth.
You felt the warmth.
I felt the warmth, and it was just delicious.
Definitely 4 out of 4. Hit the spot.
4 out of 4.
The first delicious. 4 out of 4.
Yes, 4 out of 4.
Can I do a 5?
5?
I don't know, man.
Can I do a 5?
Whoa.
Well, if I'm allowed to, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 4 food guys because...
I don't think we'd have enough heads for that.
Where's all the head coming from?
I'd just say because it's just really good. Like, I'm full. Tasted great. Price was great.
Price was definitely great.
It deserves an extra head.
All right, Brandon, we gotta get your head in there.
Dude, we will. Let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, guys, that was our review of the Pancake Place, and just a friendly reminder, we're the 4 food guys. Peace. Stop leaning into the camera so they can see Matt.
All right.
You just get
right here. Stop, everyone, shut the. We just finished eating. Had a.
Oh my God! Don't worry about us.
Mom.
Help!
All right, that was funny. Notes, folks. This is how you take notes.
There you go. End of the episode right there.
That's going in. All right. Because they think that.
Oh, that food looked really good. I guess I know where I have to go after this.
Take me with you. With that brings us to the end of our show. We are your hosts. I'm Jack.
And I'm Austin.
Make sure you tune in next week, TC Weekly System Override at 3 p.m. See you guys later.